This was the UK's best camper van, in our opinion anyway. So after 6 months of living in it full time, is it still the dream van? Made by Consort Motorhomes, the multi-award winning British manufacturer of camper vans. This is going to be a no-holds-barred review, sharing everything from our experience about it, including some of the items and everyday van life gadgets that we've bought the van that have got nothing to do with Consort, like the Starlink Mini. And by the way, there are some things that we want to change about the van that we're going to tell you at the end. So this won't be just a purely fluffy positive review. Let's get into it. For full disclosure, for anyone watching this who doesn't know, we bought this van as a 2022 Peugeot Boxer, which means it was already 2 years old. The van, it was a brand new conversion on it though. It's a rare thing that never happens at Consort Motorhomes, but we're very, very lucky, right time, right place, and it meant that we could buy a brand new conversion, so we're very happy about that. This is a 6 metre Consort Reef van. We believe they've got 3 different sizes, the one being a 5.4 metre, the 6 metre, and a 6.3 metre or 6.25 metre. So this is the middle there. It was, with regards to length, as far as reviews are concerned, we think we've chosen the right length for vehicle. We still believe that. So we've just gotten back from Greece, where we spent 2 or 3 months doing full-time van life there. And as you may know, the roads over in Southern Europe are very narrow and very tiny. And this 6 metre van handled it, no worries. I don't know if I would have gone any longer. We definitely wouldn't have gone shorter. We still feel like 6 metre is the right length for van. 5.4 metres is the size of a parking space in the UK, but we always find that we can find a space with a little bit of overhang. So we've not, even today, we've not had any problems. I think maybe one time, isolated instances. So we still think 6 metres is the best. I would even potentially rather go to longer than 6 metres rather than shorter. The other thing, other than length, that was a first choice for us, a concern, was the layout of the camper van. Consort mainly do, but they do other fixed bed ones as well, U-shaped lounges, and that is what sold it to us initially. That's what we were looking for. The U-shaped lounge means that you've got to transform that into a bed at night time to sleep in it, but the rest of the day it's either a dining room or a lounge, and that's what we wanted. We wanted to have more of a social area than having a fixed bed, which isn't very social. We've done that before and we weren't too keen on it. So 6 months down the line, we think that U-shaped lounges are the best thing ever in any camper van, and the U-shaped lounge in Consort is big, it's wide, it's comfortable, and the main question is, what about setting up the bed? Are we, after 6 months of living in this full time, every single night, are we sick of making the bed up and putting the bed down every night? Well, I'm going to turn that over to Janine.
And the answer to that is no, I am not sick of it at all. I thought I would be by now, but actually it really doesn't bother me. I set up the bed in like 5 minutes. We shove all of our bedding under the seat here, and it's just no hassle whatsoever. So no, it's absolutely fine, even 6 months on. Since we're on the subject of duvets, I may as well talk about that now. We've got an amazing thing that we use. It's called Night Lark, and it was recommended to us by Consort, and it's really, really good. We recommend it. And it's literally, we put down a topper and we put down a duvet and nothing else. So the duvet is attached to the sheet, so you don't need like a duvet cover. So that works really well, especially when it comes to washing. So you pick up the whole lot and just stick it in the wash. So you're actually washing your duvet as well. I really like that, and it's really comfortable. There is a downside to it though, and that is that because it's quite bulky, when you do wash it, you have to make sure that you can get a big washer to wash it all. Sometimes in Greece we couldn't find it. In the UK we can get it quite often because of Revolution Laundry. They've always got big washing machines. So yeah, that was just like a small challenge, but apart from that, we both love it.
So U-shaped lounges are, in our opinion, the way forward. This was the first time we've ever opted for one, and we are never going to change again. We're not going to go back to fixed beds. Even with the 5 minutes of putting the bed up and 5 minutes of putting the bed down, it's a small price to pay for having this set up all the time. And it's actually made us get out of bed later because it's so comfortable, and so the dynamics change a little bit with it all because it's just all more comfortable. We're having cups of teas in bed, whereas before we never used to do that because the fixed bed area wasn't as nice as this. Also as well, just quickly, my mum made these cushions, but I think you can get them, you obviously can get them online actually, on Amazon probably, and where you put the cushions inside these homemade pillowcases and you take them out to use them as pillows and put them back in the daytime to use as cushions, works really well. So our whole space saving element in here is really good, and the space underneath the sofas, really we just use them for the bedding and a little bit of food storage, and of course our electronics, which I'm going to go on to now. If you watched our first videos of picking this up, we drove away with a different electric setup to what we've got now, and we got it changed, we got it modified and upgraded quite quickly because we knew we're off-grid people, we like to go off-grid and we want it to be the best it can be. So we started off with one lead battery and we upgraded to twin lithium batteries, leisure batteries, and with a 50 amp charger, which means that when we're driving it charges 50 amps back into the batteries as well, and it all runs off the solar. So half of this roof has got solar for these batteries, and we find that they work really, really well. Like, it's a great setup. We've had the experience of living in this van in winter and living in it in summer now, and it just works. In the summer we've got no problem whatsoever, and in the winter a little bit of management still, but it worked really, really well. Another thing that Consort did for us was they made the other half of the roof with solar panels, and the solar panels went into power banks, and they also work really, really well. Just going to show you this really quickly. It's amazing. It's the latest addition to our camper van. It's the most powerful power bank we've ever owned. It's just been launched in the UK and we are really excited about it. It's the Jackery Explorer 3000 version 2. And as the name suggests, it's very powerful. It's the most powerful power bank we've ever owned. It's got 3,600 watt of output. It's got over 3,000 watt hours of capacity. What makes it incredible though is the fact you've got all that power, but it's so small, it's so compact. It's 47% smaller than the industry standard and something like 43% lighter. So we can actually use it. We can store it underneath the bed where we store the power, the other Jackery power bank, and it become our main alternative source of power. It's got 3 AC outlet ports, 3-pin plug ports, and it's got 2 USB-C, 2 USB-A. It's got everything that we need. There ain't much that this can't do with regards to powering and charging. For us, in a camper van, there's nothing that this thing won't charge. In fact, we'll be able to have multiple things on the go all the time, including probably our air fryer is probably the most power hungry thing. So we're really excited about it. It's going to come into its own in winter time, especially autumn, winter, spring, and it's got the Bluetooth Wi-Fi technology, so you can measure how much power is coming in, how much power is going out, with the battery levels as well. So when we put it underneath the bed, we can just leave it there. Now these things are charging via plug-in at the wall in less than 2 hours for a full battery charge. But I know many people use the cigarette lighter whilst they're driving to charge it. But you could also charge it via solar, which is what we do. And these things now charge full battery via solar in 3.5 hours as well. So technology's come on so far that it's become really exciting time for Jackery power banks and what have you. We're over the moon with it. If you want to check it out yourself, please go to the link in the description of this video or the pinned comment, where you might find a discount as well. Thank you so much to Jackery for partnering with us on this video. This is our Truma boiler system. The actual Truma boiler system's underneath the left-hand sofa / bed. The problem we had to start off with was we got this conversion and it was with LPG Truma, and we found that to be really, for us, inefficient for doing off-grid living. We were caning the gas way too quickly with the oven, the hob, and using the heating quite a bit. So we actually got that upgraded as well to the LPG diesel combi boiler by Truma, and it's brilliant. In fact, when we started off doing van life, we started off in a very, very basic camper van that, you know, when you don't know what you can get, we were happy with it, and we really were, but it just had one USB socket, and that was it for electrics and little water jugs and stuff. Now, in 2025, we've got this thing that's got a timer on it that wakes us up in the morning with sort of when the temperature drops below a certain level, so that we know that the temperature when we wake up is going to be at a certain level, and it means we can get up easier, and it's just a game changer. And it's got water heating, it's got boost, it's got ultra quick water heating, and it's just so efficient that I think this is one of the best things that I've seen in any camper van. I know probably quite a few camper vans have them now. Consort have these, I think, as standard now, and they're just flipping wicked. So good. So for me, especially doing winter van life in the UK or elsewhere, the diesel combi boiler is just perfect. A question we get asked all the time is, would you go completely gas free in your camper van? And whilst we would, and we think the technology's out there and what have you, whilst gas and LPG is still available, then we think that we would rather have that as a backup, or we use it all the time as well. We use the electric kettle all the time. We hardly ever use the gas kettle now, but we do cook on the stove all the time. And and we could use the air fryer all the time, but whilst there's gas available, it's nice to do that. One thing that I would say though is about the oven, and this is a point of contention between me and Janine.
Haha, the oven. I absolutely love the oven. Liam thinks that we could do without it. So we've got an air fryer. At the moment, our air fryer, we have to get rid of it because it's had a recall or something. However, when we did used to use it, it was amazing. And I agree with Liam, it was really good. But we have actually used the oven since, and it's been really handy. So there you go. That's another win for the oven.
The meals that you want to make in an oven, you can only make in the oven, and what have you. And for that reason, you really like it. I'm not against it. I'm just indifferent. That's all.
Yeah. So I really love the oven. Liam's not so keen on it, but I would say I wouldn't want a camper van without one.
So then we keep it.
Yeah. So we're keeping the oven.
Do you know what this is? I think most people are coming to know what these things are now, as they're becoming very, very congruous with camper van life. And this is the Starlink Mini, which is a mini satellite, which means that we can get Wi-Fi all over the world. Satellite-derived Wi-Fi all over the world. I want to quickly review this, even though this has got nothing to do with Consort. This isn't the best, but at the same time, I'm so pleased it exists. In our experience, after 6 months of using it properly, and we have been using it a lot, I've got to admit, one thing I want to say first is I'm very grateful to have it, to be able to put it up and the vast majority of the time get Wi-Fi. But we thought, and we heard people reviewing this thing before getting it, saying it's got super speeds and stuff like that. Whilst in the UK, we think it's got some of the highest speeds that we've seen in all of Europe that we've been to. Actual fact, it's not like amazing. You know, it's not what you think. So it still takes quite a while to upload a video. And sometimes the streaming, we can get the buffering thing. And it needs clear view of sight of the satellite as well. So I don't think it's worth the £96 a month, which is what you pay for it, by the way. It's a lot of money, which you can start up and stop whenever you want. So you have to pay a whole month. I don't think it's worth that money. I'd like to see this come down to half that price, at least, given the fact that the speeds aren't so great. But we have used it, and it's got us out of loads of sticky situations. And what I do is I stick it up here. So just up here like this. It saves putting it on the outside of the vehicle. It gets the same, going through the skylight, it gets the same speeds as it was do on the roof. And it means we don't have to fix anything to the roof of the van. So that works really, really, really well. It does cane a lot of power though. So if you haven't got much battery power or way of recharging the batteries, then think twice about the Starlink. That's my honest review of this. We haven't done one before, but that's what we think about these. Before we move on, the kitchen, we find that it looks quite small when you first look at it, but when you flap up the extra levels, it's enough. The space is enough. Any camper van that I've ever been in, it's always, you've got to be really efficient when you're cooking and organised, which we're not very much, but we find we've got enough space with all of this, and we sometimes use the dining room table as well to prepare food. But yeah, we think the kitchen whole setup is absolutely spot on. And we still especially like the flappy thing that comes down for the washing up as well. That's like a real weird domesticated sort of bonus. And the bathroom. This is a wonderful space in here. This is honestly, like, it's a pleasure to get up in the morning and go have a wash or a shower. We generally tend to use the shower once every few days and have sort of strip washes every single day. And it's enough space to do that, just for one person obviously, but it's really, really good. The sink area is amazing. And it's got a mirror, and the shower's powerful, and it's always hot when we have the boiler running, and it just works really, really well. The toilet is the first time we've ever had a fixed toilet proper, I think, inside a camper van, and we have used it quite a lot, and that's been a bit of a game changer. But obviously you do need to make sure you've got campsites nearby, but the whole thing works really, really well. And now we're spoiled. I couldn't live without it. But there is one thing at the end of this video that I'm going to tell you that we do want to change about this, and it's a big one for us, and it could have changed the whole of our time in Greece had we would have got it, and I'll let you know about that before this video ends. Okay, something else that we've got that we don't use, and to be honest with you, this I obviously use, this spinning around chair captain seat thing, I use all the time. In fact, I don't know why I do, but this is it's just a nice place to be. I really enjoy sitting here. This one spins round as well, but we never spin it around. The driver's seat we never spin round. I don't know why that is, but we just don't. There's also a table that goes in here as well, a coffee table. So you can sit, both of us could sit here at the front and have a cup of coffee in the morning, but we don't do it. It just, for some reason, isn't. We don't go to that extra effort, which is weird because we go to the effort for the table, for the dining table, and putting a bed in, but we don't do this bit. However, I'm just really grateful to have this, because this feels like this is where I relax in the evening time sometimes, whilst Janine's working over there. And for that reason, it's nice in a 6-metre van to have 2 seating areas. So, given the fact that all Consort vans are 2-berth vans, I think that that's enough, and we really like it.
There's one thing that I really like about the Consort that they sell in the Consort shop, and that is the alarm clock. It's a really good one. It's absolutely amazing. It's got like a dimmer feature, so in the morning, if you don't like it being too bright or too bright lights in your face, then you can actually dim it so you don't have that shining in your face. It's just like a small thing, but it's really good. And also it holds batteries so that when your electrics are turned off, you don't lose the time. So it always keeps the time that you need, really. So when you turn it all back on again, well, it's always on because it's got the batteries in there. You just got to keep an eye on the batteries. But another thing that has been proved to be so handy, and it's probably my favourite thing in the van, and I liked it when we first got the van, and I like it even more now after 6 months, and that is the area that you get by your bed. It's like my personal area, and Liam's got his. I'll show you it now. So this is my area, and it comes with a little pocket here, which is so handy. My Kindle's normally in there, but I obviously took it out. But I've got a little fan, and I can put my watch in there whilst it's charging. And this is where I put my glasses. I've got my reading glasses, my everyday glasses. And that is just the perfect, and these are all my wires. It's just the perfect little area to store all the things that I need whilst I go to bed, go to sleep. I've got everything here. I've also got this fan up here, which we got from Amazon, and it's just, it clips on, and it's just ideal. And it plugs in. It's the perfect length to plug in there. So yeah, that's my area and I love it.
We are actually going to hit the road now and we're going to head to Consort. It's about a 2 or 3 hour drive. It's up in Leeds. This is where we got this Consort with this camper van from. The reason being is there's two things that we can think of. Had the camper van would have had them, our lives would have been better over the last 6 months. And we're going to go up there and see what they can do about it, because we think they're now very important. And we'll share those with you when we get there. You're going to laugh at one of them, I'm sure, but it's so important. And whilst we're driving up there as well, I'm going to show you some of the gadgets that aren't to do with Consort that have made our lives easier, and some of them that have made our lives worse in this camper van. So let's hit the road.
On the way to Consort, we had the perfect example of how frustrating this Garmin 780 sat-nav actually is. So the good points are that you can add your dimensions and it will not take you down any roads that are too small for your vehicle in the UK. However, in Southern Europe, it did point us down roads that we 100% shouldn't be going down. Also, this morning we had a frustrating moment where the instructions were not clear and left us going in the wrong direction on a toll, costing us £18 and adding an extra 30 minutes to the journey. It just feels a little unpredictable. Sometimes it's great and sometimes not. For that reason, we can't 100% recommend it.
Okay, so we've just arrived at Consort. They are the manufacturer, the sales, the everything of the van, the Consort vans. So we are here specifically for two reasons. And to be honest with you, there's two things that we wish we had in this van that when going to Greece for those many months would have made it a much better experience. And it's not Consort's fault, because they actually offer these things as to anyone, any customer. It's just that we didn't get them. And can you guess what they are? Ridiculous. Well, the first one's not that ridiculous. It's awning. We chose not to have an awning, and it is an optional extra for anyone. We just thought we'll save the money. We're wild campers. What happened when we went to Greece? They banned wild camping. Where did we go all the time? Campsites. And at campsites, everyone's got their awning out, shading themselves from the sun. Had we would have done that, Janine would have actually been able to do work outside and enjoy it a lot more. So we really missed out there. So we're not going to make that mistake again. We've come back and we're going to get a really nice awning put on, and just it's a worthy investment. The second thing, we'll show you that because it's ridiculous, but it will have made a massive improvement as well. And then the last thing that I'm going to show you, the last thing we're going to review is something not to do with Consort as well, that we really need to let you know about, because we think it's a bit of a game changer. So let's go and see Scott at Consort and get this sorted out. Hey mate, how's it going?
Happy smiling faces.
Likewise, mate.
Yeah, you're looking good.
Thank you. Yeah, you say
It's
yeah.
got a bit of sunshine, doesn't it?
Oh no, yeah.
You can have too much sunshine, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Let's get you in here.
Yeah.
You can reverse it.
Reversing. Okay.
After parking, the major upgrades we're getting to the van are an amazing Weimar awning, a brand we know are at the top of the market in the awning world, which is just so incredible. We've never used an awning properly before and couldn't believe how big it was. It feels like it spans the entire length of the van. We think this will come in so handy for the remainder of the summer and any festivals we might go to, for rainy days and sunny days. And in all honesty, this would have come in so handy in our recent adventures in Greece, but it was our faults for not opting for it when we purchased the van. The other essential addition is a full-length mirror. Another thing that all Consort vans can come with if you wish. But only now do we know how important it is for getting dressed up, and more importantly, keeping an eye on how much weight we've put on from all the stuffed vine leaves. This is no advert for Consort, but our honest opinion, they make us feel so welcome and go above and beyond to make sure we're happy with the van. Unlike anything we have experienced before, they even installed a little catch so that we can open the bathroom door and keep it open, separating the two halves of the van, which is handy when you live in a small space and want a bit of alone time. They also updated our scatter cushions to some fancy new ones that are even more comfortable than the previous ones. But Liam has one more review to give you before we end this video.
So yeah, we're super happy with the whole van. At the start of the video, I said, is this still the best camper van? We still think it's the best camper van, and we've had a few, especially for comfort and longer term travels in the van as well. It's like a little apartment on wheels, and I can't think of if we won the lottery, we wouldn't change it. Do you know what I mean? That's how serious we are about it and how much we love it. The last thing that I wanted to mention before we end the video is the air suspension. So many people ask after a few months, do you still think they're a good idea? I mean, it's the first time we've ever had air suspension. But let me tell you this, we've been on a few campsites recently, and I've seen so many camper vans, resting on the bump stops, you know, right down. They look so overweight with their family in there and the bits and all that sort of stuff. We always sit well above the wheel, really high. So it's just a no-brainer. I don't understand why more people don't have it. We have only got single leaf springs suspension, where I know a lot of people have the double leaf springs, but the guys who installed it even said you can have both, and just to feel really, really high up on your wheels. So we can control the height of the vehicle. It's come in handy so many times. Going slightly off-road, you can heighten it. When you're doing long driving, you can lower it, and that's how we have it most of the time, but it's just wonderful. So fully recommend that. I'm going to leave the details to everything in the description of this video, including the suspension, and of course the Rogue alloy wheels are fantastic. They always are. So thank you for watching this. I hope this answers a lot of questions for people who have been asking us about the Consort camper van, and it's still a dream. We'll probably do another one after a year, but I can't see anything changing after that. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon, side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.